Yeah, I'm standing by the Speagle Cabin. Moved to Harsco in 1982. It was located about 15 miles northeast in the area of Eichard, built by All Speagle in the early 1800s. A couple neat things about this building. Number one, it's the one that you see with a log chimney. Now think about log chimneys. Wood is fire combustible, and they typically would catch on fire occasionally. And if you've ever heard a chimney with a roaring sound that it occurs when the chimney is on fire, it wakes you up. In fact, there's a nice pole outside that you could slip behind it and throw it away from the house so that you wouldn't burn the house down. Another neat, unusual thing that happened with this particular building is it actually had a wood chimney and located in an area that was easily photographed. In a photo album inside, it had wooden shingles, and during a heavy rain and windstorm, it blew part of the roof off and completely soaked my photo album, and that you couldn't identify even a picture of anything, which sadly we lost the pictures of this before we moved it. But this is where the schoolmaster lived. This is right next to the school. Typically one person would have lived here. The schoolmaster probably could have been either a man or a woman. Most of the women took that position more than men. Yeah. As we walk into the All Speagle's one-room schoolmaster's house, you see on the right-hand side of the room a beautiful two-board walnut table. It's an unusual pin-top table, and it dates back to the late 1700s, and is called a pin-top table because it lets you slide the top backwards or forwards 5 to 6 inches, and you can slide the table back flat against the wall to conserve space, or slide it away from the wall and put a chair behind it. You use small wooden pegs to hold the top of the table in place. The table has a small drawer, and on the table you see some tinware, ironstone, artificial vegetables, potatoes, cheese, plus a kerosene lantern. As we move toward the chimney, there's a wall-hanging cupboard with early tea, baking soda, and a lot of early types of tins. There's a wood box in the corner with its original early green paint. Just above the wood box is an early coffee grinder. Now we walk toward the stone fireplace, and you'll see it's the only one in the village with an arched design with a keystone in the middle. There are typical cooking pots, a kettle, a long-handled frying pan, a Dutch oven. Inside the fireplace is another pot-hanging crane. A crane lets you hang several pots using certain long-neck, hand-forged hooks. You can swing the crane in different positions as you need to in order to adjust the heat on the pots. Or you can pull coals aside or put actually on top of the Dutch ovens. As you go past the fireplace, there's a little pine jelly cupboard with several dishes and an old picture on top. One of the neatest things we found is a very primitive cupboard that you'll see over the little wooden desk and green chair. There's a lapboard dating to the 1800s. If you look on the edges, you'll see square nails that help date it. Lapboards we use, as we do now, to give us a small, portable surface to work on. You can use while sitting in a chair or while you're in the bed. As we move on to the next corner, there's a bookcase where you'll see shelves of a lot of early books. There are 2 large doors on the bottom, and on the top is a small, dated 1894 type trunk to store items and valuables in. A blanket chest is at the foot of the rope bed. Beside the bed is a small table, a basin and water pitcher, and a small mirror. The rope bed is typical for this time. It has feather ticking on top and straw ticking beneath. There's a nice white bedspread with candle wicking design. We actually demonstrate candle wicking here during our festival in the dog trot cabin. Here is a large pine cupboard on the front wall for storage. It has both top and lower doors. you can open the bottom door and see an unusual wooden locking mechanism. On the top is a small pine tool chest.